Hello everyone, welcome to a little bit of a rant about Dream a Little Dream, mainly because I revisited this the other night. I was like, what do I want to watch? I was like, let's put Dream a Little Dream on. And I normally watch Dream a Little Dream now, when I've had a few beers, and the intro with the two Coreys, and just realising how much must have hit the cutting room floor between them two, doing like the in bits, and goes da 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 da, getting there. But yeah, I watched it and thinking, Jesus, as much as I've watched this movie and the hunt for this movie, I still remember the day of finding this movie in a small little video shop in Motueka in New Zealand around about 1996, and watching it for the first time and seeing it briefly trailered back on a VHS and seeing it in inserts for VHS that, Corey Haim and Corey Feldman. In the UK, this movie was like sort of just, even 1996, 95 when I was looking for this movie, it was just impossible to fucking find. And I made a big song and dance out of this like last year or the year before, and we did the whole HMV thing where it finally seen a Blu-ray release within the UK, and that's absolutely outstanding. And this is what came out. Now, until today, I hadn't watched the extra features. Now, I haven't listened to the comedy yet, but there's an interview on here with Corey Feldman and an interview with Lawrence Kasanoff, who's the producer of the movie, and I've just took in from there. So again, finding this VHS back in the day and what this VHS was going to be, considering License to Drive, Lost Boys, and then stuff like Scuba School that would follow. And Dream a Little Dream's a big thing on Lonely Tree. I mean, the guys are painted on the stairs out there in the hallway. Last year I was able to get a one sheet from the original cinema release in America, and that caused a bit of a rift because I did spend a bit of money on it, but it's a Dream a Little Dream, and as much as I'm a fan of the movie, it's Matt Fairley there, I still watched it the other night going, fuck me, what is going on? And taken away from what the producer was saying, so the producer is one of the creators of Vestron, and Vestron produced the first Thriller music video for Michael Jackson. It was the first ever £1 million VHS sold, and they disguised it as a making of as well. So he's Thriller, and that really gave a cushion for Vestron, and their ideas were acquire movies, make movies, but the movies have got to make their money back the first day of American retail, because the guy talked about the three different booms, and very interesting idea, the booms of video shop, and now streaming, and then network television, the first boom where it had 4 channels to hundreds, and just demand of actually having content. So much stuff was getting made just for making's sake. And Vestron were very just have directors have free reign. And this film, again, they kind of blame the free reign as the way this film wasn't a hit, but obviously backed onto the two Coreys' massive fame, and the fact that the actual soundtrack to this movie saved the movie and made the movie very, very profitable, because it had a #1 hit from the movie, which was Rock On. And the album, the back of the CD doesn't even credit, I should have it behind, but it's upstairs, credit the artists on the back of it, like R.E.M's on there. Who's R.E.M? No one. It's the end of the world and we know it. There's loads of stuff like that, and he's on about getting movies made and how they jumped on it, and how Vestron's disappeared, but how there's still a lot of love for Vestron movies, and they just had their time. So there's a lot if you're going to buy this movie, check it out. But obviously the producer spills the beans and says, look, they were working on this movie, they want to get this movie going. It was one of the movies that had the idea. The script was called Maybe's Tomorrow, or some Long Time Tomorrow. They were trying to get it done, and then they had time to go off to a new movie. Director talked to them on the phone, get that sorted, and long before digital things and all that, and they changed the ending. And it's the era where what's a reshoot, and they didn't want to spend any more money, and they blamed the ending for the obscurity, is that a good word, of how it ended. And it's very fucking confusing to begin with, what the fuck's going on with this movie. And I think a well-written ending might have helped tuck this all up, because you've got so many different fucking elements of the two Coreys. Feldman in his Jackson period, which I'll talk about in a second, you've got that brought into it. The soundtrack, you know, I fell in love with the soundtrack when I was young. I mean, Dream a Little Dream soundtrack has a massive influence on my younger tastes of music, and like kind of like discovering music that was phasing out at the time, but you're trying to, you know, so much new stuff coming in. And, you know, like, the director kind of blames that choice of the ending, and again, just blaming it on like the fact that they just give directors a time to be a bit risky, you know, like to go, right, maybe it's 50-50, but again, it was made for make its money back the first day, and that's the next problem solved, gone. So from the producer's interview, which again I found it funny because someone was credited as in clearance, for clearance legally, when it's an extra feature on a Blu-ray. It's just fucking crazy because obviously the rights to this and the rights to a lot of the Corey's movies, especially Corey Haim stuff, is all over the place. And Vestron, Dream a Little Dream small box version is through First Independent, which is another company that's completely disappeared. And when they were advertising as well, they were showing the TV spots how, you know, it's maybe one movie, but it was advertised as a teen flick, and actually one of the trailers on it actually has Earth Girls Are Easy on there as well. So when you package Earth Girls Are Easy with Dream a Little Dream, you're thinking two laugh out loud comedies, because Earth Girls Are Easy is absolutely batshit crazy. But then comes him and Feldman. So it's mainly Feldman, and it's a new interview with Feldman, which is good because it's good for Corey to sit down and actually hear his stories about this. Now, Feldman says that he took on this role from early days, wanting to do something very different, and he looks at it as a variant of Mal from the Goonies growing up, you know, and looking at just Jason Robards, who he's kind of meant to be embodying in this Freaky Friday kind of feel of a movie. And he's trying to do a case study and trying to do this, and he's very focused, and he wants his best friend Jason Presley, I think he says, or Preston, to come in and play his best friend in the movie Dinger. And he wants to do this, and he's getting there, and this is the zone he's wanting to do, and he doesn't want a dance number in the story. And I watched this interview and I went, I don't believe you. I'm looking at him going, I don't believe you. And he gets credit as a choreographer at the end of it, Corey does. And the whole idea of the old man being in Corey Feldman's body and Corey Feldman acting like the old man but then busting out the Jackson moves, it's crazy, but it has its kind of like special kind of place in this movie, because this movie doesn't get enough recognition like The Breakfast Club and all that. I think this movie is a movie that's got so much charm to it, but so much mysterious. But Feldman going like, yeah, I was pretty famous for imitating Michael Jackson. I was like, fuck me, man, you were pretty famous on your own. You didn't need to be imitating Michael Jackson. You were the fucking McDonald's kid, and you're the kid from the Goonies and the Gremlins and the fucking Lost Boys at this point, and from Friday the 13th. You were just as famous as Michael Jackson at this point in a fucking world of movies. You know what I mean? How the fuck the kid's not in Moonwalker for a start, I'll never know. But like, that's it, you know, he's imitating Michael Jackson, and he's still doing it now, and everyone's just like, is he just doing this for this? Corey Feldman's been batshit crazy pretty much all his career, but when you see him interviewed, he's fucking so screwed on. He knows what he's talking about, but him not being an influence in his wardrobe or wanting a dance routine in it, I don't believe that, because Rock and Roll High School Forever would follow very quickly, and again he was following that trend of wanting to be in music and stuff like that. But I think Dream a Little Dream can go down and go, you know, this is where Feldman's wanted to kind of act, but then also really inspired by his music. And I think this is a very, very crucial point in his career. Now, him coming into this film, when they were talking about this, Feldman kind of feels like he's been interviewed still to be friends with his friend, but him being injected in this movie after his girlfriend at the time, Lala, auditioned for one of the roles, and him to be injected in this movie with his broken leg and it becoming a two Corey's movies, why wouldn't you do that as a producer? Because of the popularity. But then, you know, Corey, the two Corey's, Haim is playing an opposite character he normally do. Haim's normally the dramatic actor, and he gets to showcase he's quite funny in this. And there must have been take after take after take. Apparently there is a 4-hour cut of Dream a Little Dream, and the director, before he sadly passed away in the early 2000s, was wanting to do a director's cut of this and bring it out on Blu-ray. And apparently there's a lot of notes and there's a lot of original footage still out there and exists. So making a video like this now, for me, putting it out there, and anyone who watches Dream a Little Dream or has any interest about Dream a Little Dream, knowing that there is a possibility of a special edition of Dream a Little Dream maybe down the line, it's a possibility, and keeping content like this and keeping it going. But like, Feldman's just like, yeah, why wouldn't I want Corey Haim in it? And the two got chemistry, it is, but I think like the diversity between like bringing these two in and it being a two Corey's movie to try what they're trying to do, then the dream and what happens to her and all that kind of shits and giggles, it just gets batshit fucking crazy. And then the fact that there's a Lost Boys poster on the wall, and then on the other wall there's a fucking picture of Michael Jackson, and you think, fucking hell, man. But yeah, the extra features were really good, and too short actually, but again, it's out now in the UK, brand new packaging. The kid here as well, who plays the bad boy, he's pretty awesome actor. He's on all the artwork but never gets name checked. Harry Dean Stanton's in this as well. But yeah, Dream a Little Dream, and I'll see you in the outtakes. So Lala, who is Corey Haim's girlfriend at the time, plays Corey Feldman's girlfriend in the movie. Corey Feldman and Meredith would go on to be in Edge of Honor a couple of years later. Corey Haim would go from this movie back up to Canada to make Watchers, where Lala would play his girlfriend in this, and his mum, played by is that Knock on My Door? No, it's not a Knock on My Door. Sorry for that jump cut. Funny enough, my next door neighbour is called Stephen, and he said before, yeah, my boiler's not working. There's a guy at the boiler door. He rents in this. I actually own this side of the house and half of that side of the house. So it's weird how the houses mingle in. And he rents. I had a hole in my ceiling this morning. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do about that? So it's a difference between owning your house and renting a house. Anyway, so yeah, Lala, Barbara, that's where I was. Barbara Williams plays Corey Haim's mum and Watchers. The year after that, Oh What a Night's Made. A year or two after, Corey Haim, Robert Carlyle. Corey Haim is obsessed with Barbara Williams. So Corey Haim is like wanting to knob his mum in Watchers. It's quite a small pool, you know, when actors like kind of travel together and integrate. I'm going to say this though, how that happened there, these actors, oh yeah, Corey Haim's now going to be in Dream a Little Dream because Lala is going to be in Dream a Little Dream. And the director thinks two Coreys, producers think two Coreys, the movie's going to be marketed as two Coreys, the movie's batshit crazy. Corey Haim in an alternative reality doesn't appear in this movie, Dream a Little Dream. Corey Feldman plays this film dead straight without any Michael Jackson influences and doesn't do music. Then changes his acting career into the 90s, alright? Okay, so he could have gone off and do anything. Corey Haim's not in this. Corey Haim, without a shadow of a doubt, should have been the kid who turns up in The Burbs when Feldman's fucking painting the house and he's like, yo, Rumsfeld, this is my friend. And see, that kid's a meatball. He can get off my yard, lame-o. That should have been Corey Haim. Corey Haim should have been in The World of Joe Dante on that street set. It made perfect sense. The Burbs is all shot in the back lot. It's there, it's open. You know, it's not shot in North Carolina or wherever that one's filmed. That would make perfect sense for Corey Haim to be in The Burbs as that kind of friend with a cameo. But knowing that he came in and Feldman's friend was taken off it for him and he's got broken leg, it's fucking twisted world of fucking Hollywood. But for now, I've been Stephen Monkey Mason. I've said Monkey Mason actually twice a day. It's fucking, again, got multi-personality disorder, haven't I? So there's always one of me around. Thanks for watching me videos, of course. Hope you're all well.